have great young players. But for two organizations like this, two proud, two established, two championship organizations whose players represent some of the great lore, some of the great performances, some of the great teams in the history of professional baseball, to be in such financial disarray. For the Dodgers, obviously going through what they're going through. For the Mets to have been scammed, I guess, by Mr. Madoff. For the Mets to be talking about dismantling their team to cut payroll. It's not like a Florida Marlins situation where the Marlins won World Series in 98 and 2003 and got rid of players, and you kind of knew it was just a once in a lifetime deal. The Mets have had David Wright and Jose Reyes, homegrown talent, who have overachieved maybe. I mean, if Reyes on any other team would be, like he is. He's a superstar. David Wright is a consistent good player. But the Mets have Carlos Beltran, they have Jason Bay, they have Johan Santana, they have K-Rod. I mean, they have star players. And I always thought that when you buy a brand new stadium, you're supposed to start playing good baseball. This team has been throttled with injuries. This team has been just absolutely pulverized with injuries. And I don't understand the logistics or the legal mumbo jumbo of what happened to this team in terms of the whole scandal aspect of it. I don't understand what's happened with the Dodgers. I mean, I can understand the Dodgers, you know, the assets are being split between two people. Major League Baseball is trying to make sure that the baseball money stays with the baseball and not give the Dodgers the loan that they wanted. The Mets got the loan. The Mets asked Major League Baseball for a big loan, and Major League Baseball gave it to them. So why didn't they give it to the Dodgers? But it's a disgrace when you look at both Dodger Stadium and Shea Stadium, new Shea Stadium, or what's it called, Citi Field, and the place is always half empty. And it's only due to the fact that the organizations are not doing what it needs to do. Now, I talk about the Dodgers on my show. I support the Dodgers. I watch the Dodger games every chance I get. I haven't gone to a game yet, but I plan on this summer. It's just so sad. It's so sad that you have a man on the Dodgers named Andre Ethier who has a 29 game hit streak. And you can't even talk about him or appreciate what he is doing without talking about the team, talking about his financial crisis. And what makes it worse, too, is Ethier got a hit already, so he's up to 30 games now. Here you have, that's amazing, a guy with a 30-game hit streak in this day and age trying to keep this and save the interest of his team in his own city, and you can't even talk about it. You have to talk about the McCourts, people who don't even play baseball. It's a joke. I mean, I still root for both of those teams because these players have nothing to do with the chaos that they are involved in. But if the Mets start dismantling this team, I'm going to be enraged. Enraged. I mean, and if the Dodgers may have to do the same thing, because if Dodgers can't make payroll, they're going to have to start letting go of people. And the Dodgers, of all the teams in baseball, have a team full of homegrown talent. Ethier's homegrown. Loney's homegrown. The big center fielder, Kemp, he's homegrown. I mean, they got rid of Russell Martin, which is still surprising to a lot of us. But a lot of the Dodger players, Kershaw, homegrown. I mean, it would be a disgrace if both of these two teams have to unload all of their talent and their payrolls in order to be able to survive. I'm appalled and I'm shocked, and I will talk more baseball on 89.7 KLAS-FM. There are some great stories. Happy birthday, by the way, today to Mr. Willie Mays, who played for the Mets. even though he's known more so for his days with the Giants. But you got to think about that. I mean, we know Duke Snyder passed away early this year, and it's sad. I mean, you have to think about the legendary players that have played on these teams and what they must be thinking. Tommy Lasorda didn't play, but you have to think about what he is thinking, about what has happened to his team. Vin Scully has been with this Dodger organization since the 50s. He must be wondering what is going on. And for the Mets, Tom Seaver, Keith Hernandez, I mean, Nolan Ryan, some of the greatest players ever to wear baseball uniforms, have to be saying to themselves, what in the world has happened to our organizations? It's very sad. And unfortunately, it's not even the players, and the players can do about it. So, happy 80th, Willie. Don't be too mad at the Mets. The Giants won your ring last year. Maybe the Mets will win you one in the years to come. On 89.7 KLAS FM.
It sits there looking like a candy bar in a nice orange wrapper, right? Reese's Nut Ring.